Hello, everyone. James Wilson here. And every Wednesday, I'm just going to go ahead and do my football picks. Um, I'm just going to make them all on Wednesday. And just kind of doing this for fun. I'm not betting anything. I'm not really watching the games too much. I may watch a little bit of highlights and stuff like that. But last week I was 10-6. 10-6 is not that great in my opinion. 11-5 would have been better. That would make it about 70%. It's kind of like my goal here. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and make my picks. Hopefully this week would be a little bit better. Um, but I'll first start with the Thursday night game. It's kind of a toss-up, to be honest with you. Cleveland played so poorly, though, and with Cincinnati, they had that quarterback under their belt. And Cleveland's favored by 6, which is actually kind of a lot. It doesn't really matter where it's at anymore. Home field doesn't really matter much anymore this year. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Cincinnati to win that game just because Cleveland just played so poorly, and they had the new quarterback. I think he'll get his first win. He almost got it last time, and that's against the Chargers, which the Chargers, I guess, are mediocre, But Cleveland just got destroyed. It's going to be a good game. I really think it's going to be a good game, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bengals. Okay. New York and Chicago. I mean, the obvious pick is Chicago. Honestly, New York can win this game. But Chicago played pretty well, so I'm going to go ahead and pick Chicago. New York, in my opinion, I don't think any of these teams are that great. But Chicago, they played pretty solid. They beat Detroit in Detroit. As I said, it doesn't matter where they're playing, but last week was a toss-up, and I picked Detroit just because they were at home. It was a true toss-up. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick Chicago over the Giants. And as I said, to me, that's a toss-up. Atlanta at Dallas. Dallas lost last time, and so did Atlanta. As I said, this is kind of a toss-up in my opinion. It could go either way. As I said, home field doesn't really matter much. I'm just going to go ahead and roll with the Cowboys in this game. And that's, I just think that, the running back is a little bit better. Elliott's a better running back. So, I think I'll go with the Cowboys. And I think they do have a semi-crowd as well. So there may be some crowd noise there. So I'll go with the Cowboys. I guess I'll just roll with it. Detroit and Green Bay. I think this is kind of easy. Last time Green Bay won pretty good. They beat them pretty badly, and so I'm gonna go ahead and roll with the Packers. I don't see the Detroit Lions winning it. I mean, they couldn't. They're not that good really. So I'll go with Aaron Rodgers at home against the Lions. Jacksonville against Tennessee. Honestly, this game could go either way. Tennessee has a short week. They played Denver pretty tough. I mean, it's a defensive battle, but man, this game. This is a true toss-up in my opinion because it doesn't matter. The home field doesn't really matter. So. But I'm going to go ahead and pick Tennessee just because they've been proven. They prove themselves a little bit more over the years. Jacksonville just hasn't played very well. But as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville won. But I'm going to go ahead and pick Tennessee in that game. Minnesota and the Colts. Both of these teams didn't play very well last time. I didn't watch any of it. As I said, it doesn't matter where they're playing at. Cousins against Rivers. I mean, I don't know. Rivers kind of washed up. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and pick Minnesota in that game. I think they're just slightly better, and This game could go either way. This is a true toss-up, but I'll go ahead and go with the Vikings just because the home field to me doesn't really matter, And I know they don't have Diggs anymore, but they're still pretty mediocre. This game's going to be close. I mean, just like all Colts games. So I'll go ahead and pick Minnesota. If Minnesota loses again, I mean, I'll pick them again. So, Buffalo and Miami. I don't know, man. I mean, Buffalo's the better team. Miami does have a semi-home field advantage because it's pretty hot down there, but I'm just gonna roll with the Bills. I mean, my gut kind of tells me Miami, but my brain is saying Buffalo. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Buffalo Bills to win that game in a low-scoring defensive battle. Like a 17-13 win in favor of the Bills. San Francisco at the Jets. I don't feel, as I said, it doesn't matter. I think San Francisco can get off their lose. They lost last time, and that was a good prediction I made. I did pick the Arizona Cardinals, and I was right on that. But I'll go ahead and pick the 49ers this time. I don't think the Jets are really that good, so I'll go with the 49ers this time. Rams and Eagles. Rams beat the Cowboys. Eagles lost. I mean, it could go the Eagles' way this time. I just can't believe they lost. But I'm not. This is tough. My thinking says let's pick the Rams. But it's kind of like, the NFL's kind of weird. Philadelphia would win. They lost last time and they'll win. So I'm just going to go with the Eagles, I guess. And that because of that, I'll go with the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Rams. As the NFL's kind of weird that way, And that kind of goes the same with the Broncos and Steelers. Obviously, Pittsburgh is favored by 7. Denver played Tennessee tough. They didn't have their best receiver. They didn't even have Von Miller. So, Pittsburgh, they beat the Giants. Giants are not that great anyways. I'm just going to roll with the Broncos this time. I think Denver can win that game. I think they have their best receiver back. And Drew Lock played pretty decent football. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with the Broncos this time. Carolina, Tampa Bay. I picked Tampa Bay and they lost, man. Brady didn't play very well, but you know what? Maybe it's just he's never played for a new team before, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll with the Bucks again. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. Carolina didn't play very well. Well, they played okay, but Tampa Bay, they got to win. And it's in Tampa, which I don't think it matters, but I'm just going to go ahead and roll with Tampa Bay. And the Washington football team, I'm never picking them. I know they won last time, but I'm picking the Cardinals. And that's that. So Kansas City and the Chargers, because it's kind of easy for me, I'm picking Kansas City. They never lose in their divisions anymore, so that's an easy pick for me. And they're only favored by 8. I'd probably bet on them. As well and give them the 8 points, but not in Vegas, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, Kansas City's going to beat the Chargers. Ravens and Houston, an easy pick for me. The crowd noise doesn't matter, and Houston sucks, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Baltimore Ravens in that game, and New England and Seattle. I'm going to roll with Seattle. Okay, New England's not as good as they used to be. They might win like 10 games, 9 or 10 games. You know what I mean? I just don't think they're that good. But their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games. It's just I think that Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks are just too good. I'm going to pick Seattle at home. And New Orleans and Las Vegas Raiders, am I going to roll the dice? This is their first home game First game at home. Does it really matter? No one's going to be there. So, give me the Saints. I ain't going to roll with them again. Give me the Saints. I think the Saints are going to win. They proved to me that they can play well against Tampa Bay. So, they're still a pretty solid team. So, I'm going to roll with the Saints. Could be a close game, though. I think it will be pretty close. But I'm going to go ahead and pick the Saints. So, at the end of the day, I got Cincinnati, Chicago, Dallas, Green Bay, Tennessee, Minnesota, Buffalo, San Francisco, Philadelphia, Denver, Tampa Bay, Arizona, Kansas City, Baltimore, Seattle, and New Orleans. Like and subscribe to my channel. Any comments would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.